Hello and welcome. So, today's topic is a bit of a mixed bag, but I want to start with the Buga Sphere. Is it real or is it a hoax? Well, to many people, it's a hoax because you can't have flying spheres. But to people like me who've had a few odd experiences in their lives, or life, I should say, I've seen spheres. Not in the way that you might at first think, seeing the Buga Sphere there. But my experience was of a round object, and is for another video at another time, which I will get round to doing. So, the Buga Sphere, real or hoax? It's difficult to know, innit? But let's start with some details. The Buga Sphere was found by a farmer in a field near Buga, Colombia, on March 2nd, 2025. The sphere, a mysterious, seamless metal object with no visible welds or joints, has been studied by scientists like radiology expert Jose Luis Velasquez, who found it contained internal microspheres, fueling the theories of extraterrestrial origin. Scientists and researchers worldwide have become interested in the sphere. X-ray scans reveal the sphere is made of 3 metal-like layers and contains 9 internal microspheres. The lack of visible welds or joints, typical of human manufacturing, has led to the speculation that the sphere may be of extraterrestrial origin. The details are there in front of you. No visible welds, layers inside, and 9 microspheres. You can see here in the picture to the side of me that there is a seam. I call it a seam. It's actually a pattern which looks as though it's being carved or pressed in to the globe. And within that, there are holes, ports that are equidistant around the circumference of the sphere. Within those holes, apparently there are fiber optic cables of varying sizes. And Jaime Maussan, who has come in possession of the object, has stated it's a sensor. He feels that it's a sensor. And if you ponder that for a moment, and you look at spheres as a whole around the planet, and there have been some, you have to ask yourself if he isn't onto something. If we're being visited by an alien race, then why wouldn't they send out probes? If, as other people think, that we are part of some huge experiment which has been going on for millennia, why wouldn't you leave these spheres to document progress? One thing's for sure, there are many, many questions surrounding the sphere. Now, my personal stance, now, after seeing all the time, effort, and doubtless expense that has gone into studying the sphere, that it's a real object. That the farmer did film it flying around, and that the sphere that we currently have in front of us here in the form of pictures is indeed the object that was filmed. There is no doubt about that. My personal feeling is that Jaime Maussan is correct. That it is a sensor. Recently it was revealed that the object was dated to 12,500 years old. The alloy employed in the manufacturing is actually harder than aerospace grade aluminium, or as the Yanks like to say, aluminum. But the carvings seem rudimentary, almost amateurish. They look like they were carved by somebody who doesn't have much artistic talent, but certainly the carvings are, or appear to be on the face of it, very symmetrical. So you see what looks like 5 medieval representations of crescent moons. Within each crescent moon, there's a circle. So what does that represent? Another moon, the sun. Within those 5 crescent moons are 5 triangles. And what does that have in the center of it? Another circle. What does that represent? The moon, the sun, a light, a power source. Ask yourself, where else have we seen dark triangles with a light in the middle of them? As we move in, there's a circle of what appears to be glyphs of some description. There's some speculation that these glyphs match glyphs that have been reported by abductees or contactees, people who've been aboard a ship, usually against their will, it has to be said, but others who've seen UFOs at a relatively close distance and have managed to see markings. They see these markings on those ships. Within that again, we have what could arguably be the most interesting part, a square with what looks like a maze-like design, radiating up from which are these arms, angular, in nature, and the whole effect is of a computer chip. At the end of each of those radiating arms is what appears to be a copper plug, and one suspects that the significance of these is actually inside the sphere, and we've yet to determine what that is. My feeling is, right now at least, that the object is real. It is indeed a sensor. If it turns out to be a hoax, it was done with the help of a farmer, and we have to ask ourselves, what lengths did somebody go to in order to perpetrate this as a hoax, considering that we have engineers and scientists looking at it, scratching their heads? Another interesting detail of the whole sighting is that apparently 2 individuals dressed as police officers tried to obtain the sphere. But it has since come out that the police department sent nobody, nor would they have any real claim to the disc, the sphere. So, another question to add to the many questions surrounding it. And that brings me on, in a very roundabout fashion, to what's going on with 3i Atlas. So it's on the other side of the sun, so we can't see it, but there were various requests, most notably led by Avi Loeb, the scientist, or rather Avi Loeb, the scientist. And he said, well, we've got plenty of instruments floating around Mars. Let's turn those to 3i Atlas and let's image it. And the whole world is watching. A lot of people are interested in 3i Atlas because of its very anomalous nature. Now, is it a spaceship? Who knows? Is it a comet? It could be. But if it is a comet, we've never seen one like it before. And that in itself is hugely interesting. So how would you, if you wanted to keep the object secret when the whole world is watching, how would you go about that? If you were a shadowy arm of the government who wanted to just have all the details without releasing any. You'd have to do something extraordinary, wouldn't you? Because, as I say, the world is watching. Interesting that the American government seems to have shut itself down. And NASA are not doing anything either, as are many other government-affiliated bodies. Oh, no. All activity suspended. Tinfoil hat time? Maybe? This was just a quick video, very speculative in nature. As many of them are going to be, of course, because, I mean, what do we really know? After my own experiences that I've gone through over many years, people expect answers. Well, what was it? When you tell them, and you go, I have no idea. It just leaves you with more questions. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Do like, subscribe and share if you'd like. And until next time, this is me signing off. Bye-bye.